Good morning, everyone. Very happy to be here, and thanks for our friends at L2con to having us another time. My name is Marouen. I am building Crestal with my team. Most of our team actually is here in Bangkok, so we have a table just on the room next door. We'll be happy to have you there, give you some of this cool swag, so you're very visible on the street. What we're doing at Crestal, we are essentially looking at the way builders interact with technology today in Web3 and trying to understand the biggest challenge they're facing, which is the speed at which they want to ship. As we know, crypto definitely goes through cycles, and these cycles don't last very long. So usually it's 3 months, 4 months, there is a narrative going on, there is a winner, and then a lot of teams are looking at that point to say, well, my product is almost like that. If I modify it a little bit, or if I can ship my ideas fast enough, I can write that narrative. And definitely there is solutions today that help you ship at a decent speed, but it has some compromises. Specifically when we talk about rollups, everybody's launching an L2 nowadays, for good or bad. But if you want to launch an L2 and your core business is not really composing the chain from the ground up, Rollup as a service is a key tool that many of us use and know about. And the idea with the Rollup as a service is that you can go and maybe define what your rollup should use, OP Stack, Polygon, Arbitrum, what are the DAs it uses, what are the services that it needs, and then in a few clicks, you get your service up and running, and you start using it. But as we all suspect, it usually comes with shortcuts and compromises. And so what we want to propose is potentially an alternative way for you to build, for you to ship fast. And I wanted to pick a little bit on the RaaS market with one recent, case that happened with the DGen chain and one of the rollup providers. And so DGen chain has shipped a couple of months ago. They're using a RaaS provider, and the journey has been a little bit rocky. And so around in May, the chain stopped. There was some technical reasons that stopped the chain. And what we notice with this particular event is that usually the incentives and the penalties are not aligned between the RaaS provider and the builder themselves. So while the RaaS provider probably lost a little bit of reputation and then, an angry customer, the chain itself have users disgruntled, they have the token price going down, and then the penalty that they incur is much, much higher than the actual provider they're working with. And so first thing we notice is that the incentives is not clearly aligned between the tools that we use to ship fast and the project that we are building itself. Fast forward to a few months later, if I can find the button, the DGen chain actually wanted to change provider. They wanted to switch technology. They wanted to switch contract. They wanted to get out. And the drama that unfolded at that point is that they don't own their infrastructure. And so there is no real self-custody of the infra pieces that they are using, of the service that they're relying on. And this is creating, as we all love, a little crypto Twitter drama going on. And hopefully it will get resolved very soon. But this sends a strong signal as well, is that if you want to ship fast by using templates, by using platforms that are seemingly very easy to help you, but they are centralized, you incur these few risks, which is you are not aligned incentive with them, and then you're also not really owning your infrastructure. Another thing, of course, is that sometimes we want to differentiate. So if I'm building a rollup, I don't just want to copy a standard model, but maybe I have a particular business case that I want to address. I have particular use cases that I want to be able to enable. And the challenge with most RaaS providers today is that the options are really limited. And so, for example, if you go to a UI and you're selecting, okay, you have Arbitrum stack, maybe you can select Celestia, but Eigen is not live yet. If you want to select ZK stack, it literally opens a Calendly. You have to book a meeting with the sales team and talk to them and find out. And so it's not really very self-service. You're not in control, and the options are rather limited as well. Sorry, I keep messing up the button. Of course, we are building in Web3, and things change in Web3 where you have crypto cycles, you have transactions that go up, transactions that go down, but most of the services that we use are still very Web2 and SaaS models. And so if you go across the different rollup providers today, is that you find, okay, there is a very cheap entry price, but for anything custom, you got to speak to them. Yes, you click a few buttons and you're ready to deploy. You can deploy in 30 minutes, but you have to speak to the sales team to do that. So it makes it a bit hard actually to understand what the costs are. Also, like you're paying a subscription-based fee, but then maybe your business will go through ups and downs. So again, the pricing model is not really a great fit for it. So what are we doing about it? What is the big idea and how we want to solve this particular problem? At Crestal, we believe that if we build a very robust, decentralized marketplace for what you need as a builder, it can solve these problems. So how it will work? We are working a lot on builder intents. And so we have a lot of work that has been done to understand if you're coming and building a DeFi protocol, if you're building a chain, if you're building a game, what is really the outcome you're looking for? Is it particularly cost? Is it specific features? Is specific performance that you're looking for? And from that intent, we can then link the type of services that you might need. All right, so you maybe need a DA, you maybe need an indexer, you maybe need to bootstrap liquidity, maybe you need a KOL, essentially, to be able to have influence on your project. With this one, we could have then gone and followed the centralized classic route, which we say, okay, Crestal will deploy for you this and that. But where we see an opportunity is really to onboard different solution providers. We call these solvers. These are independent teams that know certain things very well. So they will come and propose specific configurations, specific pricing, specific technologies, perhaps, to match any of these ones. And it's up to the user to then go and access this decentralized marketplace and select, these are the two providers I want to work with. One of them will give me the piece number one, and the other one will give me the second piece. To make this actually truly aligned, we are also building a blueprint smart contract, where once these two parties enter this configuration into agreement, what we are doing here, we're putting this configuration on-chain. We have the ownership and the custody of this configuration in the hands of the builder, so there is no reliance and locked into the provider that they have. But also we can enforce into the smart contract some clear commitments, clear incentives, and how actually both get rewarded, clear reputation tracking of the solution provider, how they're working and what they're given historically and for this particular project. And obviously we can have crypto native rewards embedded into the system that brings everybody actually into the industry that we're building today. The idea as well is that we want to have flexibility. So perhaps you want to switch. That is also possible. Perhaps you want to then come with a particular new service that you need and onboard a particular component. So the idea is that you're essentially building a Lego set and you'll be able to go and collect the right Lego pieces for you. And if a particular piece does not work for a certain period of time, then you will be able to switch it and adapt from there. We are very early, but we are seeing actually examples where this is working. So I'll walk you through an example. We have a team that we're working with called O3 Layer. So O3 Layer is building a Bitcoin layer 3, and they are actually selecting a few pieces of the technology that they want to assemble, and they're putting it in-house. So they're building essentially certain things themselves, and there is certain pieces that they believe somebody else has better expertise. And so what they did, they used Crestal. They submitted their intent for particularly data availability. So they said, this is what we want to look for data availability. We want this time to finality. We want this cost per transaction. We want this throughput. And then one particular solution provider, which is a Nexus team, was then able to propose to them the right configuration. And this is done purely on a self-service on the app itself, on the dApp itself. And once actually the proposal was selected by the O3 Layer team, then the deployment is fully automated. So there is a smart contract that binds the two parties, and then the smart contract will then go and monitor the deployment and have the clear steps like, okay, it's deployed, it's running, it's down in the morning, it's down in the evening. And so we have clear tracking of the performance of this particular node avail that was deployed for them. And then we can think of incentive mechanisms to have rewards for Nexus team for providing good quality service that matched the quality of that service that they gave to the team, to the O3 Layer team. So what are we looking for here today in L2con and in DEF CON in general is that we want to replicate this. So we would love to talk to actually any team that has specific challenges when they are building a particular technology stack. Would love to know what are the use cases that are top of mind. And then with these ones, what are the mapped services that they're looking for? And obviously, if many of the teams here are providing infra to solve particular problems. So we met some teams that are solving the liquidity problem, the bridging problem, maybe the RPCs, indexer, etc. So all of these solutions can also be then added to the marketplace and be tracked and be given as a proposal to the builders when they come. We look forward actually to building more of these integrations. And then what we want to see Crestal doing is mostly a coordination layer that can allow you in a few clicks to find the right proposals that work for your project, allow you to deploy it, and have full custody with crypto-native rewards that are built into the system that allow you to then be sure that if you win together, and if you have a little bit of bad performance, you're equally motivated to fix that as soon as possible. Thank you very much. I'll give you back some of the time. We're just next door at the booth, and we would love to hear your ideas. Thank you.